So we're going to talk about the armor of God. All right. So we'll talk each day about the armor of God. We'll break down one piece of the armor of God and talk about what that is and the importance of it, and how this whole armor together is just this way that we can help fight against the schemes of the enemy and help fight against the things that the world may throw our way, and help fight against just things that try to hold us back from doing what God has called us to do, from being victorious. Now, we are victorious. If we have Christ, we are victorious in Him. But how do we day by day use the armor of God to help us in what is an actual battle? It is a spiritual battle. So we think of when this was written, when the Bible was written, and we can think of even soldiers and how they would armor up, right? A soldier would armor up to go to battle. Like, that's a good thing to do, is to have the right equipment when they go to battle. And so this is just going to break that down. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the belt of truth. Now, when I think of a belt, just even from a fashion standpoint, a belt has a use, right? A belt is made to keep your pants or your dress or your skirt in place, right? To keep things from falling down, because that would be embarrassing. Well, belts would be used in the same way, like to help keep things where they're supposed to be, to keep other pieces there. I can imagine like the sword and that coming out of the belt. But I think of that, and so I think of belt of truth. So when we attach the words belt of truth, truth is truth. Truth is truth is truth. Like, there's truth and then there's not truth. There's not a middle ground. Truth is truth. And God's word is truth, right? It holds truth. And here's the thing, the opposite of truth is lies, right? And the enemy is known as a deceiver, as a thief, right? Trying to steal, whether that be joy, or to steal someone away from coming to know Jesus, or to steal or deceive. And we see deception happen from the very, very beginning. We see deception happen in the Garden of Eden with Eve, and the lie and deception that he uses is wrapped around a little bit of truth, right? He says this question to Eve and says, well, did God really say not to eat of this fruit, right? So he takes that truth of God and tweaks it, and suddenly it's not true, and there's a question there about the truth. And so when I think of God as truth, Satan as deceiver, liar, they are opposite ends, right? And so having truth as the belt, I think of that as holding everything up, holding everything in place, right? It's this foundation of truth. And when we have truth to hold us up, and when we have truth and when we know the truth, it really does set us free. And so to know the truth, like that belt, it's holding everything. Everything is grounded on that. And when we know the truth solidly, we are able to fight the lies. Does it make it easy? No, it's a battle all the time. But the more and more we know truth, and we live with the truth holding us up, like that belt holding us up, the more and more we are able to fight against the lies of the enemy. So the belt of truth is holding things up. It's holding things in place. Imagine a soldier going off to battle and the belt wasn't there and everything started falling apart. That's kind of like when we don't hold on to that truth. It's really easy to believe in the lies and then start to see things unravel. So truth, the belt of truth.